Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
They're starring, but also studying. Life on the road is all about balance for the Detroit Youth Choir ahead of the semifinals of America's Got Talent. Priya.
Will a letter from the Washington County Sheriff's Department in support of immigrants actually encourage some of our most vulnerable to call police in times of need? You'll hear from advocacy groups.
Should staff be allowed to carry firearms in schools? Tonight, one Michigan district is debating that question. And they're asking for input from the community.
Parents and staff are coming to a town hall tonight to talk out this issue. It's happening in the Addison Community School District, and our Mara McDonald is there live tonight ahead of the 7 o'clock meeting. And Mara, this is a district really kind of in the middle of 3 counties there, Lenawee, Hillsdale, and Jackson.
Jace, exactly, and that's part of the equation here. Addison doesn't have its own police department. You can see they're testing the sirens. Sorry, everybody. Addison doesn't have its own police department. It relies on the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department. That Sheriff's Department is quite a ways away. Response times can be 13 minutes up when, if you have a school shooting, time is of the essence. Addison has an enrollment of a little over 800 students K through 12, and Superintendent Mark Guerra has already taken many measures to safeguard the children in his care. A $50,000 grant last year put shatterproof film on all the windows. There are 60 cameras on this campus, and a new buzzer system is coming to the secondary school. But there is no on-site school resource officer, and the district has been exploring arming staff, which doesn't just mean teachers.
Is just a fact-finding. We want to hear from the community, how they feel about specifically employees carrying a gun in the school system.
Back here live, there are already about 8 employees here in this district who have CPLs. Now, would that mean they would carry in school? Not necessarily. In all the research they've done into this, if they do decide to go this route, the staff member would have to have a psych evaluation. A CPL is not enough. They would have to have advanced training. In return for carrying in school, they would also get a small monetary stipend in return. So they don't know what to expect out here tonight, Jace. They don't know whether they're going to have a huge house full of people or whether it's just going to be sort of middle of the road. They're eager to see what people have to say. We're live in Addison tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yeah, I would bank on no shortage of opinions for sure. All right, Mara, thanks.
We want to update you now on breaking news in Sterling Heights. 2 men have been killed in a tragic workplace accident. It happened at a business on 19 Mile near Van Dyke. 2 men were moving 1,000-pound granite slabs when they became pinned and crushed under the weight. Right now, firefighters and crews from nearby granite companies are working to safely move the rock slabs and recover the bodies. OSHA will be investigating how this happened.
Following the mass shooting in Texas and ICE raids in Mississippi, a local sheriff wants to reassure immigrants who might be afraid. Washtenaw County Sheriff Jerry Clayton says his deputies will not ask immigrants about their status. As Priya Mann reports, Sheriff Clayton wants people in trouble to feel safe calling police.
Immigration advocacy groups like this one in Ypsilanti say they're alarmed by the number of violent crimes that go unreported. So will a letter from the Washtenaw County Sheriff written in both English and Spanish really make a difference?
It's a step, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it makes a huge difference.
But on a local level, Ruby Robinson says this letter from the Washtenaw County Sheriff sends a strong message.
He wants to protect everybody in his community, regardless of immigration status.
There's fear, and we know when there's fear in the community, the likelihood of them engaging us proactively is minimized.
Case in point, calls to the Michigan Immigration Rights Center have tripled since 2017.
The phone does not stop ringing. All day, every day, people are calling because they're seeking help. We represent a lot of people who are victims of crime. People are not reporting it despite horrific effects on them and their children.
Sheriff Jerry Clayton wants victims of crime to feel safe calling police.
When we respond to a call for service, we don't know if someone's documented or undocumented. It's not important to us. What we know is someone needs our help. We should be responding, that our response should address that issue, and then we move on from there.
In the letter, the sheriff says immigration enforcement is a federal responsibility and says his department will not transfer an inmate to ICE without a warrant from a judge.
What we have said to ICE in the past is if this person is that much a threat, If it's that important that we hold them, get a judicial order, and then we would hold them, and we won't have that issue. I want folks to know that we're here to help keep everyone safe.
Now, we did try talking to several businesses in Ann Arbor. Everyone was well aware of immigration issues across the country, but no one wanted to speak to a journalist, let alone on camera. The sheriff is hoping by having this letter in both English and Spanish, it will reach more people and hopefully alleviate some fears. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Yeah, and this isn't just for Washtenaw County either, is it, Priya? I mean, the letter is, this has become a national movement now, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. This is a coalition between sheriffs and chiefs across the country, including Dearborn Chief Haddad. So we'll see if it has an impact. We'll, of course, follow this story. Send it back to you.
Yeah. All right, Priya. Thanks.
Floyd Galloway went before a judge today for a preliminary hearing in the murder of Danielle Stislicki. Two of Danielle's co-workers testified they saw her with Galloway on the evening she disappeared on their Southfield work parking lot. Surveillance video also of what prosecutors believe was Danielle's car headed to Galloway's home the night she disappeared. That was shown in court today. Prosecution introduced surveillance video of Galloway at a Bed Bath & Beyond 2 days after Stislicki disappeared, purchasing a comforter for his bedroom. Detectives also testified about a patch of carpet in his bedroom that was replaced the week Danielle disappeared. And 7 days after her disappearance, evidence showed what Galloway searched on his iPad.
On the top of the page, it was how to pass the polygraph.
That was a search from Mr. Galloway's iPad on what date?
December the 9th, 2016.
How to pass a polygraph?
Yes.
Floyd Galloway showed very little emotion in court today. His preliminary hearing continues tomorrow, and we will be there.
A man's vintage vehicle stolen in the middle of the day as he was shopping at Walmart. This happened at the Walmart on 14 Mile and Van Dyke. Everard Cassimy spoke to the victim, who has a message for the thieves.
All it took was 19 seconds, and that Corvette was stolen from the Sterling Heights Walmart parking lot. The entire thing was caught on camera. Take a close look at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. That's a silver 1977 Corvette and was the owner's dream car.
Bought the car in April of '09. I've had a lot of work done to it. So I've had it repainted. I don't drive it in the winter. I store it under a locked garage door.
But on a summer day on August 25th, it was stolen. The owner, who asked not to be identified, had stopped at the Sterling Heights Walmart on 14 Mile and Van Dyke for about an hour. Within that time, you can see a black Dodge Magnum pull up behind it. Someone from the passenger side gets out and into the Corvette. What's shocking is that within just 19 seconds, they were able to start the Corvette's engine and drive off with the Magnum following behind.
They must be pretty good at hotwiring cars then.
The owner came out to find his car gone and called police.
Yeah, I was rushed to the hospital ambulance because I was having an anxiety attack. I couldn't catch my breath.
Walmart security cameras captured the whole thing, but unfortunately, as you can see in the video, the car thieves got away. The Corvette owner had this to say to the people responsible.
I want my car back, and how would you feel if I come and took your car?
And with that surveillance video, police are hoping that you can help them identify those suspects. If you have any information, give Sterling Heights Police a call. Everard Cassimy, Local 4.
And as for that silver Stingray, we're told it's valued at a little more than $20,000.
No, life in Hollywood is not all glitz and glamour. The Detroit Youth Choir spending many hours rehearsing on stage at the Dolby Theater, and yeah, they still find time to keep up with their schoolwork.
The choir is focused on making it to the finals of America's Got Talent, and that has meant 3 weeks of living out of hotel rooms.
Boy, that's tough.
Yeah.
Kimberly Gill is live in Los Angeles. Kimberly, how are our Motor City superstars doing?
Hi, Steve and Jason. You're right. Hi. They're doing great. And don't get me wrong. This is a great hotel. It's right in the middle of Hollywood. There's a lot going on outside. The kids can walk to the Dolby Theater. But if you've been living here for 3 weeks, 21 days, and been away from home all that time, these 4 walls can start to look really, really small.
Originally, I packed for 8 days. Yeah, but we're here for the long haul, I guess.
That 8-day suitcase has turned into a 21-day suitcase and counting, trying to manage 52 kids, making sure they stay on task and keeping up with the basics such as food and clean underwear.
We have snacks, just different things that we have for the kids to eat, cereal, bowls, things like that, shoes, blankets, clothes, and we're trying to make it home.
And it's not just the kids who have had to adapt. Many of the parents, staff, and other chaperones have regular 9-to-5 jobs back home in Detroit. Their employers have been understanding and excited about how the choir is representing the city.
That part of it has been tough. We're thankful that our jobs have been understanding, and the whole city of Detroit is behind us. We make it past this round, we'll be here another week. So I hope that they continue to support us like that.
And we certainly want to see them here for another week. So we need Detroit to continue to be supportive, as well as the rest of America. So we need you to vote tomorrow night when they perform live on America's Got Talent. Reporting live tonight in Hollywood with Detroit Youth Choir, Kimberly Gill, Local 4.
So cool. Thanks, Kimberly.
Fun, yeah. We're looking forward to the performance, that's for sure. And come tomorrow, you heard Kim talk about voting. You can cast your vote on the AGT app or online. And if you're not sure how to do that, we posted a great guide for you at clickondetroit.com. You can vote up to 10 times using each method. That's a lot of votes, so go do it.
Vote early, vote often.
That's right.
Time for a check of the national stories. You'll see ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News.
Lester Holt joins us live from New York with a preview tonight. Hey, Lester.
Hey, Jason and Steve, good to see you both. Ahead tonight, the first death from a particular mosquito-borne virus. Also, we're going to tell you the very good news about naps and why you may want to work napping into your weekly schedule.
This is interesting, too, because I've heard former presidents talk about this. Are these long naps, Lester, or short naps, or does it matter?
Well, if you're like me, I'll take any sleep I can get. But a new study just out today showing that people benefited regardless of how long they took a nap. So we're going to explain what those benefits are. We see it coming up here on Nightly News.
All right, very interesting. Be about 20 minutes from now.
Yeah,
that's good.
Thanks, Lester.
Okay.
Still ahead, what people's social media posts reveal about their health and when it may be time for you to reach out to help others.
And here's Andrew.
And Jason and Steve, pleasant conditions right now, not bad, upper 60s and low 70s, but people still want that hotter air, right? It is still summertime after all, 80s to our south. They make it in here, but when? Sooner rather than later. We'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast.
And up next, it's the list every school wants to be on top of. The top universities in 2019, and one of them is right here in Michigan.
Did you miss it?